Greetings Earth, back with another video. Gonna talk about the Brazilian organized crime again. So now I'm in my final, stage. Basically right now I'm just waiting for the latest, incrimination that Brazilians are trying to do against me. I'm gonna be talking about names because it's necessary before they murder me, which it's what looks like. I'm in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. It's a very tiny, stupid, organized crime, demons and evil witches and fat women, little area down in South America. These people used my life for incrimination when I was a child, so that they could include children, gay children, teenagers, Brazilian men taboo of homosexuality closet, older men, married men, bisexuals, all kind of creatures that have a self-issuing problems. Most of these people, they're driven by Afro-descendants, which are very smart, and they hide behind the curtains, behind the scene, and they control most of the people. The women is very, attractive. They're very weird as well, and they are very aggressive. They are willing to even do really bad stuff to you. Most of them are cynical. I know why. I know each and every attitude of their lives, why they are like that. Society completely ignores them, and they talk and treat them the way they please. Most of society are short. They barely can walk, and they are very demanding. They are very provocative. They do black magic and voodoo with my life. They do witchcrafting. Whatever merchandise I'm working on, let's say I got a lawyer back in the day when they tried to incriminate me when I was 17 with a younger girl. Then they murdered the man. One time they got like a couple of people to be my godfather and my godmother. One time they were threatening to kill me, to murder me. So I went to my godmother and asked her to hide some books for me that I think that the evil was after. Now it's a silly, but I thought it was because the books. So I went there to ask her. I said, would you keep these books for me until I come back? The next day she was dead. They invited me to go to her funeral. I went to the funeral because they all live in the area where they molested me. So these people, they have a series of things. One day I was trying to open a business because they're keeping me from working. They bullied me in school. They kept me from working. They kept me from achieving any jobs. Every time I go out in the street, they make a gathering that they social bully me. They go in my behind mentally. They thought provoke me. They don't lecture because they're savages. They only provoke me all the time. And they're constantly bringing sexual activities around me. They're constantly bringing children to try to get into my life so that they can finally try to get me murdered in public, because they would tell men that I'm harassing some kid, that I did this, I did that. They would try to accuse me based on the crimes that they built against me in my past lives. So they keep on doing this. So every person that they'll try to help me out, they either murder the person or something bad happened to the person. Then I opened a business here, and then I asked a friend, they stole so much money from me. They stole things just to open the store door, and the guy wanted to start problems. I said, you know what? You can keep my money, you keep my stuff twice. First they stole $200, and then they stole $200 and stole the shoes. And I said, keep it. It's okay. I don't want trouble. I got another guy. When the guy came, he's Christian, so the service was right away. He came the next day, the thing was done. Boom, I pay him. I was like, we became friends. We spoke about God. The next day, he called me. He said he caught his hand in half. He almost lost his hand. I work somewhere randomly. So in my opinion, and then another case happened when someone else helped me. In my case, I think that society, I won't accuse Afro-descendants, but probably it might be as well as ghetto. I don't know who is doing this, but whoever helps me, they either murder or they something bad happened to the person, so that I never get lawyers to help me out, or I do never have any help, because they're trying to push me out of my family's houses. My family as well. It sometimes is weird. I don't want to bring them up into the table, but I look in the pictures. There's a lot there I see, but I can't just work against my family because they are feeding me. But when it's outside is all stereotype of organized crime men in Brazil. They're usually short. They are creating stereotypes of their facial, their physical, and they are harassing whoever is by themselves. They know that I can no longer live this way. I cannot even look at them. I'm disgusted by looking at my own people. They are constantly now gathering with motorcycle, which is the father of the lies, the father of crime, everything else. It's a supposed guy that usually is bigger guy because Brazilians, they worship bigger guy, like almost a giant. And then they give them, this type of guys, the whole power. They give him car, they give him like the traffic of drugs, and then he becomes their boss, and all the other kids drive around in motorcycles like looking for trouble, always constantly looking for trouble, getting killed, murdering, stealing from people, and their mothers and their sisters, meanwhile, stay feeding the banks and the supermarkets, starting problems among men because men are trying to exercise bisexual activities around each other, and by doing so, they find out who is coward, who is not, who is with them, who is the betrayer, who is Judas, who is not, who is Jesus. So they make a mopping of the whole area. And women are the most satanic ever. They make sure that all women become extremely satanic, and they only have sex with people that pay them, which make them prostitutes, or they create a stereotype for women to get married with. They quit with this thing of men dating for free in Brazil. So men start struggling with women because they don't have any source of getting money unless they start doing drugs or crime, which police kick in. Police is such a like cocky, it's a type of a cocky, bisexual, gay, really hateful man that joined the police, and then NASA is putting 2 females with him so that he can fuck around as well, and as well as having an argument towards, if there was a family to argue against any government or police, he can have an argument saying that I got 2 women, and where is your son have? So they fucked the school. I'm sorry. They destroyed our family. They destroyed our life when we're younger. Then when we are struggling, they kind of start pressing so that we can get killed. We can get killed at street, from ghetto, from men that are trying to be buff or trying to be big or trying to prove a point. They first are trying to make me stand out. When I stand out, when a person stand out, then a black man, a black Brazilian man, or police or someone, a low life, show up and say, I want to kill this prince. I want to kill this man that is standing out because I just want to kill someone and be the king of everything, say that I did. After they kill the person that is standing out, guys like me, there's a lot of them that already been murdered. This supposed killer, he put all the because when police and drug dealers, they murder so many people, the children and countries, they start getting confrontations with each other because they need to speak the truth eventually. But because there's so many murders and so many drug dealers among them, they can speak the truth. So they need to transfer that guilt that the children are constantly sticking on as their free shouts on someone else. Because until this person kills someone or transfer that guilt or put a blame on someone else, they still gonna hear those voices. They still hear their conscious, their subconscious. So the fake police keep transferring their murders to literal, like at the beach, to the jungle. And meanwhile, as they destroy my life here in my city, and they make sure that I make no money, I have no relations to any woman, and I always fight for my masculinity, they still destroy my way out of the city, meaning that they are marking me for a supposed murder at the future when I try to cross the path, getting out of this hell that they put me into. I might not talk about my family and put names, which I feel the attacks, each and every one of them. I know when was what they do and why they do. I'm not going to talk about them at this video per se, because I don't think I'm supposed to kind of like work against my own kind. But eventually I will. I'm not going to be wasting my time bringing up my fake friends from past life in San Francisco, California. I think I keep them in my heart for someday. Maybe someday I might need it. But because all this happened, I know they're all crime subject from Brazilian TV subject. Brazilian TV subject is the most evil organization of all times. There's prostitutes. They are very powerful prostitutes on Brazilian TV now. They only mock me 24/7 because they're becoming more and more and more powerful. They're mocking me more and more and more. If you can hear the way they speak when they talk about the news, they have only a couple audience. They have the men that they're aiming so that they have lost. They have lost towards too, and that they would love to be beat by and to have like a fetish experience with, which is like celebrities, Hollywood celebrities and so on. They might try to trick the person to get them pregnant, and then they will sue the person to get like a $2 million baby or some whatever they might charge from the person after they divorce, because they divorce. They just want to get the connection with the rich person in order to get some money coming in. Or they have like drug dealers and guys that are working on their bodies, and they work with organized crime, and they have like the new hot shots everywhere. A guy that is a master of jiu-jitsu, martial arts, and he's tall, he's buff, he's kind of like come from like a wealthy family or not. Maybe society helped him to become that way. I call him the Ramonzinhos. Like there's so many of them. There's so many of types of hot shots out there. Sometimes I call him the devil because he thinks just because he's the master of he think he's the Superman. He think he doesn't die. And then women kick in. I might say that I'm jealous of him because women want to come in a conversation between me and him or them. And then it's a mess, and then I leave, and I'm always fleeing because I don't want anything to do with prostitutes from television. I don't want anything to do with really wasted, really never local women. And sometimes I might add something with them because I was kind of like feeling sorry for them. I try to, lift them up a little bit. But evil is this difficult to lift up or to defend, because evil, as more you defend them, as more they will hurt you, as more they will harm you, as more they will attack you. So in my mind, I don't understand. When you're helping me, I kind of like you. I don't attack you. In Brazil, it's different. When you help them, it's more they will hate you because they want to go to the extreme. They want to make sure that you hate them. They want to make sure that you get them to the cracker lands and parts and real bad. Trust me, it's not even worth explaining the areas that I know these people are capable of living. So it's all set up now. I see now why they put me into stores, because they want to learn about customer service, which they say that my customer service is too bad, but they are trying to crucify me and torture me in the process of dealing with them, either before they boycott my life in a cab driver or car apps, because they want to make sure that I do not succeed in any kind of way. They want to make sure that I do not get a hands of any car or any women, that I never raise a family, because they know my kids will be raised well and the right way. My life and my house will have rules. It's not something that I'm clicheing from anyone. It's just rules. And like I am that way. It's not, many men, they might have rules as well, but I do have rules. But when you under your mother, when you under some demanding woman, when you under like TV or police, people minding your business, there's no way you can have rules in your house. That's why I might leave from this place. It's a joke, because this is a reality. Sometimes I touch myself. I go like, I'm not leaving this. This is a nightmare. Every day I wake up, there's black people outside jamming a car, yelling, talking shit. Heading directions towards me. Every single person either protecting me or dealing with me have to be black. They're constantly trying to force a racism towards me. Not only racism, but other things as well, because eventually they might work into things that savages haven't worked yet, which is, people's right, harassment, stereotypes, prejudice, this and this and that. They want to use me to learn and to dig into Americans' law so that they can create their own BS surrounding, little cozy, stupid thing that satanic. Think of pure evil people Brazilians do and did. So now Brazilians, they're all positioned in each area of each road because they know I will pass. So I'm going to be there, Jesus, which is inevitable. Inevitable, I think that's how you say. So anyways, I should search that. Anyways, these people made me as their Jesus. Most people are cynical. Most people are fake and phony. They pretend that it's not happening, but it's happening. They are using me, which is crime. They're harassing me so that they can stand out somewhere. Black men, they use me to stand out. Look at me, I'm bigger than you. Look at me, I'm taller. Look at me, I'm this. Look at me. They constantly try to create situations to point out my private parts. They only talk about my ex-wife's name. It's so silly, it's so ridiculous. I walk around on the street, as more silly, as more childish that they can be, as more they will become. When I look around, there's always some nasty, wacko old lady or some nasty gay man smiling because I know it comes from them. They are doing that. When I go to the ATM machine, the ATM just stop on me. Everything I do just stop. It's like it's a mystery. I go to the bank, they stop. The woman in the bank start talking about my how much I deposit. There's always some clone of guy from the past life that they create against me with it. Children are the wacko things that only Brazilians do. They did so many wacko things with us and when we were children. Now they're trying to get me murdered with some BS man that they say, I'm a man and whoever is trespassing children, I must kill it. And then he just opened his mouth and call everyone raper, a child molester or raper, because he want to create a situation to murder people. That's what they did with me in the first place before they killed the first lawyer. But they did the worst mistake with me because I was 17. There's always involving Zulu tribe that has to do with my brother-in-law. It's a cool guy. It's on his place that he's not doing much, but I can feel it. I know when he comes from it. I know his parenting. I know his DNA. I know it's not all about him. I know it does all the threats and provocation doesn't come from him, but they are the sources. I grow up around those people. They are the sources. They are the founders. They're the foundation of crime, of drugs, of bullying, social bullying. The world suffered. Many kids died and killed themselves because of bullying. Brazilians, they are the founders of school bully. They're the founders of job social bully because they are trying to recreate job the man that they can do extremely like a savage state frauds where they destroyed with someone's life to a point that the person will be sitting out there downtowns begging for food, completely all beat up and weird, and it's like a person's I don't want to describe. So this is what Brazilians are doing. I hope you enjoy this video. Take care. I'll see you around. I know now why they are making me do videos. Not they are making me do it, but the force, the evil force that suggests me mentally, because I'm alone, so any suggestion that will come to me, I will know. So the force that the evil Brazilian, nasty, satanic wackos force that suggests things to me, now I know why they're suggesting this. Because they're trying to keep doing what they suggested before. This is when I was in Miami. I was lost. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? People were isolating me from society and telling me mentally that I should be a homeless. So at that time, the survivor video stuff and the website came to me. So I thought, when I used to think by myself, when people used to not claim my thoughts or try to claim my body or try to claim to be my bosses or the owners of me, I used to think to myself, okay, maybe something go bad in my life, at least I'm going to have a website. I might reach out for the world for help and all that, like Patron, and so on. But now I know that they've been writing my life this way since the day one. So I might as well just keep on doing the shortcut, which is like going as far away from this Satan. Think of pure, nasty, evil people, Brazilians, this city. By the way, I know now that what they did in San Francisco, California, it's a waste. For me, it's a waste. San Francisco, California, it's a waste. It's in my heart. Thank goodness that I know I've been there. I by myself, I can rule the entire planet by myself. I don't need none of this wackos and this daredevils, all this nasty Brazilian organized crime, real estate fraud, bank fraud, women with defect take on me because they didn't get married, women that are not finding their men, are not finding any marriage, they're taking on me, on single men, they're beating men until men are on the ground, like they're like, what is it my problem that you are sleeping with another woman? Is that my problem that you struggle with your lesbian subjects? Is that my problem that you don't find a man? Is that my problem that you destroy the entire society, the entire system? Is that my problem that you know, if I really open the verb to you and ask, like the gentleman, to excuse my French and start really saying the things that you women do against men, oh, come on. What you did since the day one, United States here, what you do with police, federal police, which is fake. Federal police is fake in Brazil. You put a hot woman as delegating, it's like bisexual men with nice clothes, and you call them feds, you call them federal. I kept FBI in my heart because I know what it is. I know someday, in the end of this tunnel, they will be there, they will help me because they're not like you. I feel sorry for you, for your country. I feel sorry, like President Bolsonaro. I don't have anything to say about him. He can say the way he speaks, the way he speaks. I don't care how he speaks. The fact that he's there in that chair, and do I want his chair? I don't. But why do you put me in politics? Why do you put me with your kids and your sons that didn't make in life and chose to become criminals and homosexuals and bisexuals? Why did you put me with children when I was a child? I didn't know any better. Why don't you try to repeat the process of Santa Lucia right now? Why are you killing, murdering, or maybe you're not murdering, maybe you just transferred them saying that they're all dead. I doubted that any celebrity ever died because you don't marry celebrities because you know each man should go through Renaissance. Each man should attempt to go to church, and if they go to church, the truth of them will be revealed, and to get a shortcut from that. You organize crime, Earth. You create Hollywood, and then you murder him. You say that man, so and so died, and then you transfer that man. You disappear with that man or that woman, so that that person can continue. You can continue using that person's mind to control whoever they control. Older men, they're all separated from society because they represent the number 12. He's very mean. He's very nasty. All those men, James Bond, Frank Sinatra, George Clooney, all those styles, they're number 12. They enjoyed life. They had a blast in their life. Many of them, they fucked every single person you can imagine. Now that they're older, they're taking on me. They're taking on younger men. They're not allowing us to live. Try to compare the men of my age back in the day and compare to us right now. Try to understand why society are not allowing us to have the right nutrients in our bodies. Try to understand why our mothers are stuck at home, obese. Try understand why tall men are in conflict with short men. Try to understand why ugly men do not coexist with regular men, and they all take women's part. So we're not fighting only women. We're fighting women, homosexuals, transsexuals, creepy creatures, children, and ugly men. Take care.